Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today's topic is going to be a bit different. And it's about the destroyers. The player base that playing destroyers in World of Warships. And I have to say, it's getting worse. I've seen destroyers just doing nothing in the game and dying within like a couple of minutes into the game. So I'm going to be talking about the problems that we do have in these destroyer players, okay? So the thing is that, for example, just like I am playing in the ranked battles, okay, there is obviously a lot of tension. The destroyers have to spot, they have to scout, they have to cap, they have to shoot the guns when they're possibly able to do so, when your battleships need it. And also you have to provide some sort of entire cover if you do have one, like in the Friesland. But if you don't have one, you still just try to not use your entire, just like I'm doing here. But a lot of players don't do it on a right thing, and I would say on the right time. So the problem one that I want to discuss is going to be the lack of map awareness, okay? One of the critical aspects of being a successful destroyer player is understanding the map and your surroundings. Too many players I have seen rushing into the action without even checking the positioning of enemy ships or anticipating where their allied needs support. This is something that I've seen very common. I mean, I'm pushing in here, but I know that I might be able to take down these DDs. You will find out ultimately. But this problem, the lack of map awareness, is very common. In this case, I'm trying to do pretty much like I know that I don't have any ship whatsoever behind me, and I have this awareness right now coming in. So I have to be playing very careful because there are two destroyers spotted. So that's one of the things that I am seeing destroyers not doing it correctly. Problem number 2, neglecting team play. Now, in this case, I'm trying to contest the caps, and I know that with the Z56 that I have, I will be able to take down this DD. Now, I know that I will smoke up and I can disengage, and I know that UrAvgWarGamer will be spotted by a carrier, so I'm gonna be just fine. I'm doing the best thing that I possibly can, and I just killed the UrAvgWarGamer like in a couple of seconds. So I have seen a lot of destroyers into the cap, not like me, like they just bomb rush, they just don't know what they're doing. In this case, I know that the carrier will help me out, and that's why I'm just doing the best thing possible, trying to kill their destroyers. They, like, I think the UrAvgWarGamer probably have smoked up, and the UrAvg don't have smoke whatsoever, so he's in definitely big trouble. So definitely I have seen destroyers that they push into the cap and they just die quickly because they have no idea. In this case, these destroyers are doing the same. They have lost one DD, and this UrAvg getting spotted by carrier, so he's also in a huge trouble. You can see here the ZF6 is absolutely insane with its AP penetration, and I'm just absolutely obliterating this guy, just using the smoke to its fullest potential and doing the best thing that I can. So again, I have seen destroyer players like this, and this guy is doing the same thing. He's trying to torp into the smoke, but I was keep angling myself, sort of lucky to be honest. But this guy, he's not using the guns, and then ultimately both of the destroyers died within 5 minutes. Problem number 3 is exactly the same thing. Poor torpedo usage. I have seen destroyers that they don't utilize the torpedo potential to its best, and you know, I mean, they launched them from too far away, or they just fail to lead their targets properly. This is something that I have seen very commonly. They don't understand that if the battleship is pushing, you just don't launch all the torpedoes as one, especially if you are in smoke. I have seen multiple destroyers doing this problem for themselves, like they just drop the torpedoes, the battleship rushing in, and he does not have torpedoes anymore to just drop on that pushing battleship. That's another problem that I've seen. Very poor utilization of torpedoes. Problem number 4, underestimating enemy detection. Again, players don't even use concealment expert. I have seen many destroyer players not even utilizing the concealment expert whatsoever. Like, I have seen Nustrashimis having 6.2 kilometer concealment, even though Nustrashimi has 5.6 kilometer maximum concealment build. Another issue that I am seeing currently in this game. The destroyers think that they just can go around the map undetected, but they always forget that the enemy ships always be able to spot you by the radar, or maybe the destroyer that is pretty sneaky enough can absolutely obliterate you by keeping you spotted. But they just don't do it. Obviously, the solution is that you have to keep eye on your detection. I mean, ZF6 has 5.8 kilometer detection, so it's pretty good for a lot of reasons. Like, it's very powerful gunboat destroyer with reload booster, so I know that I can take down destroyers, and I'm doing that exactly in this. Obviously, you have to play smart. People don't do it, and destroyers absolutely pretty much fuck up the game. I have no issues saying this because that's what exactly happens. Now, in this case, I'm smoking up and helping Schroeder and Adatara with additional firepower, and this is something that you should do, like that. But players don't do this, really. Alright, so another problem, misusing smoke screens. In this case, I have used the smoke screen when I was spotted by destroyers, and I have used the smoke screen when I know that I can kill this Ibaranga. Okay? This is the perfect utilization of smoke. People don't do that. A lot of players basically did not understand that the destroyer have this ultimate role in just utilizing the smokes correctly. They can even smoke up for their allied players if they are good, but most of the time you cannot depend on them unless you are playing in division. But still, I mean, you have to use cover for your escape. I mean, Shimakaze, for example, DDs like Shimakaze or Gehring, you can utilize your smokes in a really good possible way without, you know, getting into the radar range. Like, then you can use the smoke. Otherwise, if you smoke up and you are in radar range, your smoke is kind of useless. It will not going to help anyway. But again, players do that. They smoke up and they just don't realize that you are in like probably a radar. Maybe a destroyer radar like Small and Wagner can be a big threat. But again, lack of map awareness, lack of, you know, team utility, enemy team utilities. They just don't know that. Another thing, what I believe is the gunboat destroyer challenges. I mean, for those who prefer gunboat destroyers like me, the landscape is going to be a bit different. Those ships, I'm sure that these excel at direct combat, but obviously positioning and timing is still required, like I did in this game. Obviously, they most of the time overcommit. I mean, if you are really good in ZF6, you'd never have to overcommit. I didn't just push out of the smoke. I just hold myself. I know that the CV will help me. Somehow it manages to happen, and I did exactly what needs to be. I killed their DDs on time, and obviously utilized my full potential of a destroyer, of a gunboat destroyer, obviously. So you have to play to the strengths. You have to remember when you are in smoke, torpedoes are imminent threat, especially from the torpedo boats. But they don't angle, they just simply stop in smoke, and they just eat torpedoes, which is absolutely stupid. You will never gonna be able to get a lot of value of smoke, and you cannot farm ships in a gunboat destroyer if you just going to eat torpedoes and just get depth strike in the first place. A lot of Jaeger is just a super pure torpedo boat, right? And I have seen they smoke up, like Jaeger spots you, you smoke up, you think you are good, but Jaeger's torpedo is coming in like a blazing lightning fast speed, because those are 95 knots of torpedoes. You're just going to get obliterated. Again, poor smoke utilization and not understanding the role of gunboat destroyers, like when to do that and when not to. And that's another problem. Another problem number 7, I would say, ignoring entire support. That's what I believe, right? I mean, I know as a destroyer that I have defensive air fire. ZF6 has actually somewhat decent defensive air fire, decent anti-rating once you pop defensive air fire. If you utilize it correctly, you can be decent in just shooting down planes. That's helping a lot of your teammates if you don't understand that, right? This is something that you should be doing if possible. And I try to do that, and in this case, I tried to shoot down planes. I didn't put myself into a very high risk of taking a lot of damage from carriers and helping my team to win the game. You can clearly see I did what I exactly needed to do. And I would just say simply in summary, right? I mean, the destroyer players been playing terrible. They've been doing a really bad job and not doing what they assigned to do so, like spotting, capping. It's not the perfect way possible. They just exactly don't know what to do and pretty much what not to, but they just do exactly terrible mistakes and they just die within the start of the game. As you can see, I have played really decent, I would say. I killed their DDs. The DDs caught off guard, especially Yugumo, without utilizing his concealment. He just pushed into the cap and he just get farmed to death. Luckily, the carrier did help me, which is why he is in the second. So that's really important. So definitely, it's about dealing. It's not about dealing damage. What I said previously, like it's about just doing the right things, strategy, teamwork, awareness. You know, doing these things, decisions that you do right in destroyers will help you win the games. All right. So that's it for the video. These are some of the points that I want to address. Like your entire, like just like in the last point I said, your entire is really good if you utilize it properly. Like if you have good entire in the first place. But if you don't have, you can just turn it off and just don't turn it on. Destroyers just literally turn it on, like Yugumo, Shimakaze. I have seen multiple of these destroyers doing that, which is absolutely stupid. Like, why would you just put yourself into a big threat by getting spotted like this? If the planes are outside like 4 or 5 kilometers, let them be. Don't get yourself spotted by just turning on your AA, and utilize it to the full potential when you can possibly be able to, when you are in smoke especially. Because in smoke, the carriers are unable to do much damage, so they have to blind drop. But anyway guys, this is what I wanted to talk about. I hope you maybe get some valuable idea that what I believe that destroyers should be doing, the role they should be playing, and how they will be able to win the games. That's what I believe. And well, till then, if you pretty much like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys into the next one. Peace out.